between beliefs, attitudes, and thoughts. It's very powerful. If you're doing a weight loss product and you're showing inconsistency between what they want and what they're doing and what they need, you'll get dissonance. Now, the key with dissonance, when you create that, you need to provide a solution. That would be your product or your service. Buyer's remorse is also a form of cognitive dissonance. And when people feel that, they'll look for around them to find reasons to keep the product or to return the product. And American Cancer Society also did a study where they talked to people that say, do you support us? If you do, please wear this lapel pin. Pretty simple. And they made that initial commitment and the belief that they believed in the American Red Cross. And they came back later and asked for donations. And they found that the people that were wearing the lapel pin that made that initial commitment were twice as likely to donate to the cause. So create dissonance. The second law is the law of scarcity. Very important law because the natural human psyche, our condition, is that we don't like to make decisions. Okay? That's why the call to action is so important. You can have the best product in the world, and you found the best client who wants your product, needs your product, and can afford your product, but they will still resist that final decision to purchase your product. And that's where you use these laws of persuasion, especially the law of scarcity, which states opportunities are always more valuable and exciting when they are scarce and less available. In fact, the threat of potential loss is greater than the thought of gaining something of equal value, meaning we fear losing $100 more than we would appreciate getting $100. And that's what it's all about. Scarcity increases the value of your product. When you threaten somebody's free choice, they want it more. They want it more. In fact, I've sold lots of products and services, and I've tried to talk people out of certain products and services. The more I try to talk them out, guess what? The more they wanted it, the more they want it. So you need to create that urgency and scarcity. Let me give you some examples. You'll see this in shoe stores, especially for the females, right? You're looking at a pair of shoes, you're not sure if you want it. And they say, you know what, I don't know if we even have that in your size. And they say, well, let me check in the back room. They go to the back room, they come out with a big smile and says, you know what? This is the last one in your size. And you didn't really want it before, but that scarcity causes you to buy the product. You see that with real estate agents too, where they have 2 or 3 people that want the house show up at the same time. Home shopping network, you'll see that with the countdown clock, creating a time urgency, and as far as the number of product that's still available. In the 1700s, there was a great potato persuasion, they call it. Catherine the Great, Empress of Russia, right? Back then, potatoes were considered poisonous. They were considered cattle food. It's just not fit for human consumption. But she had all these starving people. So what she did, she had her soldiers put in a fence around all the potato fields with big signs that said, do not steal. With that scarcity, the people said, wait a minute, that's not fair. We want our potatoes. We deserve our potatoes. And it solved the problem. Create that scarcity. Limited supply, sale ends today, whatever it does. I've sold entrepreneurial products, and one thing I did increased my sales 30%. All I had to say was limit 2. They only needed 1, right? But limit 2 created that scarcity where people actually would do that. The next is the law of connectivity. The more your audience feels a bond, connected to, similar to, or attracted to you, the more persuasive you become. People need to like you. There needs to be a bond there. If people don't like you, they will not do business with you. If they don't, it's through your marketing, through your writing, whatever it is, there needs to be a connection. And that can be through attraction, your physical appearance, known as the halo effect. We know that attractive people are automatically assigned great traits like kindness, trustworthiness, and intelligence. It's no secret that better-looking students get better grades. It's no secret that better-looking criminals get lighter jail sentences. It's called the halo effect. But this also matters how we dress. Similarity, background, interests, hobbies, people skills, becoming somebody's friend, and of course rapport, that instant connection with somebody, are the 4 types. So let me give you some examples. Political elections in Canada, they did a lot of study and research, and they found that people were 2.5 times more likely to vote for someone that was better looking. Now, of course, when you ask them after the election, they would never admit that. But that's even true in the elections here in the United States if you take a look at what's happened in the past. They did a don't walk experiment to see how you were dressed, how that would affect your persuasive abilities, how you would connect with people. They had a man in his jeans and a t-shirt at a crosswalk trying to get people to jaywalk with him, right? He went first, and then a little bit later, a man with a sharp, well-tailored suit. People were 3.5 times more likely to follow the person in the suit than they were the man with the jeans and the t-shirt. Create that connection. In fact, that's true. I did a study at parking lights. When they turned red, people were more likely to honk at a beat-up car than they were a luxury car. Insurance company did a study also and found that people were more likely to buy someone that with the same background, religions, hobbies, traits, were more likely to buy from that person. So you need to find that with your clients, your demographics, what you have in common. And the Carnegie Institute of Technology did a study that found that 85% of your success in life come from your people skills, working with people and understanding people. You need the ability to connect, and you can do that through writing, speaking, and marketing. The next law, another powerful law of obligation. When others do something for us, we feel a strong need, even a push to return the favor. We've all heard the term, you owe me one, right? That obligation, it's part of our psyche, it's part of our being. It's every culture in the world. We can't live, we have this mental scorecard, and we can't live when people have more points than we have. So returning the favor rids us of the obligation created by the first good deed. And this can be done with a gift, a favor, an invitation, or a compliment. You need to create a gift. It could be a free report, anything that you could offer to create that obligation. Disabled American veterans, they would send out mailers in the mail to people to get donations, and they had about an 18% response. And then they started putting the little stickers, the return address stickers you're starting to get in the mail. It almost doubled their response to 35%. Now, the great thing about obligation, it's not one-to-one. That obligation can be 1,000 times more than you actually gave. Those stickers, which cost, about 25 cents, now get donations of $20, $50, and even $100. Car dealerships. I study car dealerships because that's an interesting world of persuasion. Watching a couple, they were sitting there, and they was kind of on a standoffish about the car, and the sales rep probably says, look, I'm thirsty, I'm going to go buy a soda. Do you mind if I buy you a soda? Well, sure. They bought him a soda, and this is all subconscious. Subconsciously, he bought him a 50-cent soda, and he had a psychological urge to buy a $20,000 car. That's how it works. Very powerful law. And they did a study with physicians. They had problems with physicians returning surveys because they were very lengthy, and of course, time for a physician is very important. So what they did is they included a $20 check in the study, and after they did that, 78% of the physicians actually returned the study because of that sense of obligation. Next, the law of verbal packaging. The way you paint the picture. Words affect our perceptions, attitudes, beliefs, and emotions. The words that you use are either going to attract your customers or repel your customers. People will be persuaded based on the words we use and how we present the idea or concept, how you paint the picture. Can your prospect feel your product? Can they see it? Can they taste it? Can they visualize themselves using it? And the research shows that speakers with these verbal skills come across as more credible, competent, and convincing. And let me just do a little test as far as how words create emotions. Take a look at these words and just kind of analyze your feelings. Murder, hate, depressed, cancer, despair. You can feel the difference. Now let's change the pace. Wealth, happiness, inspired, joy, success. Can you feel the difference? Words make a critical component. In the airline industry, they're masters at the words they use. They're very careful because they have a whole plane full of people. And if you listen to the introductions where they start talking about everything in the beginning before takeoff, they'll say, in the event of a water landing. Hello? Does anybody not realize what a water landing is? You're crashing. And they have no life preservers on the plane. They're flotation devices. There's no bathrooms, there's lavatories. The plane's never late, it's only delayed. Right? There's no barf bags. It says for motion discomfort. The difference between the two? Barf bag for motion discomfort. And they never lose your luggage, do they? It's always misplaced. So watch the words that you use. And sales professionals and persuasion professionals are also very careful because they know that one word can lose the whole deal for them. Sales professional would never say contract. They'd say agreement. They'd never say sign here. They'd say okay this. They never say I'm a salesperson. They say I'm a consultant. They never say, when someone says how much does it cost, they'd say the investment is. When they would ask for a credit card, they'd ask for a form of payment.